I, 22F, am in love with my fake husband, 23 meters. We were meant to divorce 5 months ago. We're in England, and the way it works in England is that when you apply for university loans, the company that does it, Student Finance England, SFE, pays for your tuition in full. But your maintenance loan, which is money that goes directly to you to cover cost of living, is based on what your parents earn. So students from higher income families get less maintenance and students from lower income families get more. However, my parents were rich and also financially abusive, meaning they were able to screw over my financial planning because they didn't want me to go to university. I met Andrew when we were 17 at an open day at our local first-choice university, and we became good friends. My parents revealed how deeply they planned to screw me over with SFE at the absolute last minute. Andrew suggested we both take gap years and I come up with a new plan. And then about halfway through the year, when we'd known each other for nearly 18 months, he proposed to me as a friend as if we got married. SFE would only consider our earnings, and not my parents. I accepted, and 6 weeks later we married. We reapplied to SFE as a married couple, and I got the full loan. Student accommodation wanted to put us in a shared room, but that was too weird. So we found a 2-bedroom off campus. We moved in September 2017, and we still live there together. In this time, I've really liked being his wife. It's just so nice being with him. We have all these pet names for each other and inside jokes. We work together really well, and I feel like I can be myself around him. We've both dated in this time, but I always end up comparing these guys to Andrew, and Andrew is the winner every time. In general, we're just really domestic. When one of us makes a cup of tea, we'll make the other person one without thinking about it. When we have movie nights, we fall asleep together cuddling on the sofa. And we're always referring to each other as our husband, wife. However, the idea was always to be married on paper for SFE's benefit, then divorce when we graduated. So May 2020. It is nearly October 2020, and he's not mentioned the divorce once. Whenever I think about the idea of divorcing him, it's like my heart just drops. I've come to realize that I really don't want to divorce him. And right now I could see this marriage being a rest of our lives deal. Should I broach the subject of divorce with him? Should I tell him about my feelings for him? If he doesn't feel the same, then what do I do to make it less awkward? TLDR. Husband proposed to get me out of an abusive situation. 3 years later, we're meant to be divorced by now, but neither of us is bringing up the divorce and I'm in love with him. Should I say something about the divorce or the feelings? Is there any reason for you not to try actually dating? Yes, tell him about your feeling, and give us an update. You need to tell him your feelings or you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. Even if he has never made a move, remember that actions speak louder than words. He agreed to marry you in the first place. You all have pet names and inside jokes. You two fall asleep cuddling with each other. If he doesn't like you, why would he do that? He calls you his wife, instead of like a friend, or explains the situation to every single person you meet and talk to. Most importantly of all, he hasn't talked about divorce. 99% of people who do this situation and don't have romantic feelings for one or another would have talked about it, probably months before you guys graduated. But he hasn't talked about it once, and you graduated 5 months ago. You love him, and chances are that he loves you too. Just have an evening open and sit him down and tell him what you told us. That this was meant to be for financial purposes, but I really love you and want to be together. And if he likes you too, you'll be the happiest women in the world, and both of you will be glad that you brought this topic up, and you can finally start your lives together as a real couple. PS please update us once you talk to him. TBH, I'm quite excited to hear the results and I don't even know you personally. Tell him you're rethinking the divorce and would like to try a real relationship. If he hasn't mentioned the divorce when you were both clear on divorcing upon graduation, there's a chance he feels the same. The way I see it, you tell him how you feel and tell him you don't want to get divorced. At the worst, sorry to say, he doesn't feel the same and goes through with the divorce anyway. That was the plan before. So sadly it's expected. If he feels the same, then congrats. You married your best friend totally on accident, lol. Either way, good luck. Hope it works out. Holy shit, I wanna write this romance novel right now. Ahem. On a serious note, if he hasn't brought up the divorce, and especially if y'all are cuddling, 9/10 odds your feelings are reciprocated. However, your marriage should probably stay fake for the moment. In other words, you should ask him to be your boyfriend, not your real husband. Are you living together as roommates or have you ever slept together? From what you wrote, it appears that you are man and wife in everything but the biblical sense. I would definitely broach the subject with him. I hope it works out for you. Bring it up before he finds someone else and you regret not saying anything. Honey, you have to give it a shot. You will never know if you don't. I know how scary and horrible it is. But you have to know. If he doesn't feel the same, you can move on properly without being held down by what-ifs. If he does, then you get to go from there. I wish you the absolute best of luck. Aside, this is what I fucking hate about student loans. Your parents' money isn't your money. On the point, if you can marry him, I'm pretty sure you can bring this up to him. Talk to him up. How about sitting him down and saying, I don't want to get divorced? A little straightforward, but I've always believed being straightforward is the way to break. Tell someone you care about something. You can phrase it differently too. Like, hey, I know this marriage started as a way to get me out of an abusive situation, but I've developed feelings for you. How do you set a reminder on a post asking for me? Absolutely let him know how you feel. I think you should tell him how you're feeling because odds are he's feeling the same way if he hasn't once brought up the divorce. I just have to say this is about the cutest love story ever and I hope you two remain married. Growing heart. I'd just like to tell you a quick version of my story which may inspire you to make a move. When I was 13, my much older first cousin married the mother of my best friend. My friend took the last name of his new stepdad, which was my last name, too. They were basically adopted into my family and we started referring to each other as cousins. We were still best friends and started dating other people. None of the relationships ended well, and we were always there for each other. When we weren't dating other people, we would sometimes cuddle while watching a movie, and even said, I love you, in a non-romantic kind of way. Eventually I realized that we had something special, and if I didn't make a move then one of us would eventually move on. One day while we were hanging out, I asked him, so what is actually keeping us from dating each other? Well, nothing, I guess, he said. I then asked him if we were going to get married, to which he replied, abso-freaking-lutely. Fast forward to now. We've been married 4 years and have 2 incredible kids. Still best friends. I say make your move, because your friendship is at stake anyways if one of you moves on to someone else. Ask him to go on a romantic date, and then ask him to be your boyfriend. All the best to you. Less than 3. In my non-confrontational nature, I'd probably ask the question, do you like being married, when you two are just spending time with each other? Assess the reaction, and hope he gives you one. Andrew, I seem to have accidentally developed feelings for you. We get along great and these months with you have been some of my best and happiest. I hope it's been the same for you. If you think that this could grow into more, I would be interested in trying dating. I know we're doing things a little backwards, but I think our connection is worth exploring. If you're not interested in me that way, obviously, I will be disappointed, but maintaining our friendship is my top priority and I will honor our original agreement to divorce in May 2020. If that's what you want, something straightforward and honest, say to him what you said to us. Okay. BBC, hop to it. Someone gets Saoirse Ronan and Tom Holland's agent on the line now. This movie needs to be made 2 summers ago. Is it just me or is this like the second time this week someone's posted about falling in love in their fake relationship? Just me then? Okay, carry on. You've mentioned you both have dated, but have you noticed a decrease in dating activity from him? Especially as you reached and passed the divorce deadline? Is the same true for you? Maybe make a move on him?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.